What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tavion. I'm bringing you back another video, otherwise known as Bullish with T. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the first withdrawal I made in Forex and what I did with that. So hopefully this gives you some insight of how you should treat this money when you take it out. Let's get started. So guys, as I said, this video is talking about the first withdrawal I've made in Forex, what I did with it, the emotions I felt, and how it actually really motivated me to keep going. Because the thing about it is, the thing about this market is, we see numbers on the screen, right? Whether you trade on a desktop or a phone, I trade on the phone, MT4. We see these numbers, right? Like, make a couple hundred, maybe it's a small account, you're making 10 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 200, 1,000, 2,000. We see these numbers and we think like, like that's it. It's just 50 bucks. It's just 100 bucks. It's just 10 bucks. It's just 1,000 bucks. But the thing about it is, until you actually take that money out of your account, withdraw and go do something with it, it hits you differently. So I'm actually going to talk about the first withdrawal I've ever made while I was trading and what I did with that money as well. So I remember specifically too, I was trading Bitcoin, because you can trade crypto as well when it comes to this market. So I was trading Bitcoin, and I remember it was something I was holding for 2 weeks. So I'm so glad, obviously, it paid off. But I was holding this trade for 2 weeks, and it got to the point where I decided to close out because it started just consolidating. Which you don't know what consolidating means. It just means when the market is moving side to side and hasn't really made up its mind about the direction it wants to go. Which typically, anytime you see a market consolidate, you want to get out. But yeah, when I made my first withdrawal, I remember, and this is actually shortly after I left the previous MLM I joined, because I bought a trader, a well-known trader on YouTube for sure, and entrepreneur, Swaggy C, otherwise known as Chris Williams. I bought his course, and it actually helped elevate my trading and whatnot to the next level. But I remember I withdrew $500 for that course. I withdrew $500 to buy that course, and it was the first withdrawal I've ever made. And getting access to get more knowledge to up my game, up my level. So takeaway is to invest in something else that's going to elevate you. So when I did that, it not only elevated my skill sets, but the emotions that I was feeling when I took that money out and I saw it in my bank account, and then of course, I spent it right after to get that course. It was, words to this day I can't even explain how I felt when I made that first withdrawal. Like, it just felt like the hard work I put in was paying off. It just felt like that, everything was getting better, and everything is getting better. It was getting better. And it's just like, man, like when I made that withdrawal, it really told me, like, Tavion, like, this is just a little piece, a little taste of the potential of what this market can do for you. This is just a little taste of what it can give you, what it can bring to you. You know what I mean? So if you're somebody out there where you're like, struggling with bills, or maybe something else, like, put your focus and intention on that, because that's the key behind why I was able to, close out those trades, which I withdrew $500, but from that Bitcoin trade, I made about $1,500. But the thing about it is, I knew I had intentions for that, like where I wanted it to go. And because that's what my mind was on, because I thought about buying this course for a while, and because it was on my mind, I knew, like, okay, I'm going to close this out, take it, boom, I know what I'm getting next, so I can elevate my skill sets and knowledge so I can get better at the market and then make more profit, so on and so forth. So my key thing that I want to share with you is, what is your intention? What do you want to put it to? I know people want to say bills and whatnot. I personally, and I'm gonna get into this too, I personally wouldn't put it, you could use bills, yeah, but if you're somebody who's like stressing out on bills and you're behind, I wouldn't necessarily, especially if you're starting out, use that as your intention. The reason I say that is because in the back of your mind, psychologically, you're gonna be thinking, I got this bill, this bill, this bill. So when you're up on profit, you're gonna more than likely hold a trade that you should have closed out and took profits, or waited for the next setup to come. So me personally, if you're somebody out there where you haven't made your first withdrawal yet and you haven't done anything with it, reward yourself with something. Seriously, like, reward yourself with something. Me buying that course was a reward for me, because I knew, one, how much, like, just how passionate I was about about the market. But I knew that, hey, you know what? I could spend $500 to go, I don't know, buy some new games or clothes or whatnot, or I could reinvest this in myself. So, and I'm not saying, oh, it has to be an investment, but take, that money out, whether it's $20, $50, $100, go, whether it's a haircut, right? Whether that's you going out to dinner, you taking, if you have a loved one in your life, taking them out to dinner, taking them out to an event, a date, whatever that may be, reward yourself with something. Because the thing about it is, when you feel good with that, that's just going to motivate you to want to work even harder and stay more committed and dedicated to it. And I truly believe, especially after, doing a bit of a small survey, that I found that most of the time when people quit the market, they never made a withdrawal. That's actually a question, because I was very curious about that too, because I knew I couldn't be the only one that, felt good when I made a withdrawal. So I remember I would talk to people, I'm like, hey, like who I knew quit the market, and I would say like, hey, I just want to hear on your side of the story, what made you quit the market? They would tell me their stories. I'm like, okay, have you ever made your first withdrawal in the market? And they would say, well, no. And I personally think that if you make that first withdrawal for yourself in this market, it's going to help motivate you and help you stay committed to learning, getting better, no matter how long it takes you or no matter how many losses you take as well. So if you haven't done that, you have a live account, take some money out, $20, $50, $100, $250, whatever your account size is, and reward yourself, and if you have money to pay with a bill, pay with a bill. But just make sure you're treating yourself with something that makes you feel good, right? Maybe there's a movie or a video game or maybe there's some clothing or shoes or something that just dropped that you want to get something for yourself, because the moment you buy it and you realize like it's not just money, like this money came from the market. It came from me. And by the way, this is not me saying like the market's like this simple, but it came from me pressing buy or sell and then close or hit take profit. And then you see whether that's in hand cash or you just, it's in your bank account, but you paid something with that. That's going to stay stuck in your mind that this market is on another level. This market can really shift my lifestyle. It can really help and elevate me to be in a better lifestyle situation as well. So that's just what I want to say when it comes down to, when it comes to this market, your wins and whatnot, especially the emotions and, just sharing a bit of my story about my first withdrawal too. And I remember that was my first withdrawal. The second withdrawal I made was a $1,000 withdrawal, and with that, that put me not like I had too much, but I had already covered that month's bills. Well, I guess several other months' bills, and I had a little bit extra of what not to do with. So it just feels good. It just feels really, really good, and you feel like you earned it, which you do, and it just motivates you to keep going. So that's all I really have for this video. I don't want to make this too long, but that's what I have to share when it came to my first withdrawal for the Forex market. So hopefully this was more motivation and gave you insight of, like how profitable this market can make you and how well you could do and where it could put you in life. And the thing about it is, I'll say this and I'll end this video, is when you take a step back, and when I reflected on this, because somebody told me this really just helped me shift my mind for the better. When you sit back and understand how money works or how to obtain it, it blows your mind with like your expectations of what's a lot of money and what's not a lot of money, but in a good way to humble yourself to want more. So for example, when I made and withdrew that $500, my mindset was, man, I would have had to work about, at that time, I would have had to work about 30, almost 40 hours to make, $500. But it's just like the fact that I didn't have to do anything but press this button, hold, again, that's not just me saying it's that easy, but to press this button, buy or sell, hold it, and then close it out. And I could go do my other things while I'm working my job, doing all this. Like it shifted my mind for the better, just like how to make money in this world. So just want to put that out there because that's something that's really stuck with me and still sticks with me to this day. But with that being said, hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this gave you some really great insight on what the market again can do for you. But also, if you are trading a live account, reward yourself. And if you're somebody out there where you don't want to go full time, but you don't have to go full time trading, definitely, or you just want to make a side income, definitely join the Discord below. Click that link to join the Discord. It's absolutely free as of now. I haven't decided for when I'm going to make it a paid membership yet, but you want to join that link. I'm telling you right now, click that link. So that way you can tune into the free live sessions that I'm hosting for you to learn how to trade. And it's a process, but I'm telling you right now, in the end of the day, if people out there are making $10, $20, $100,000 a month and some even more, you can do it too, and I can do it too. And I can't wait for us to get there. But with that being said, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.